Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Setting up here. Hello and welcome along as the Cross Series League Racing Championship returns this week. It's round 6 and the Pro 4 trucks head from Sonoma last week all the way across the Atlantic to the Brands Hatch in the UK. The first ever race here was an unusual 4-mile match race between cyclists and cross-country runners in 1928. Rather surprisingly though, the runners won, although they did have the advantage of having Australian world champion Jackie Hubin among their numbers. And I'm sure we're in for some frills and spills today. I'm Tim Cox, we have Jonathan Grabowski in the production booth, but right now I'm joined by the marvellous Adam Thompson. Adam, welcome to the show. Jumps, bumps, asphalt, gravel, drama, entertainment. They're just, I think, some of the words we can use to describe the action that we're going to see here at the Brands Hatch Rallycross track.
Yeah, Tim, there's not going to be a shortage of action, that's for sure. I'm really looking forward to it. With these Pro 4 trucks, this is definitely a different setup compared to what some of these guys might be used to and just running the dirt roads. So with these asphalt and these Pro 4s and they're all-wheel drive, it tends to make the trucks react a little different than you would expect coming out of the dirt onto some asphalt. So yeah, no, I am super excited to see what some of these guys in the back that maybe haven't had quite a chance getting some practice in this week and you know, obviously the front runners are going to be a blast to watch as well. So I'm just glad to be with you guys, and you know, let's see what happens.
Definitely, it's going to be really interesting to see. Of course, same format as we had last week with the 3 heat races. 8 laps in length. Obviously, the drivers have to take 1 joker lap per race before we then head into some consolidation finals. And then finally, the grand feature final. It's going to be for 15 laps at the end of the proceedings today. It's definitely gonna. We saw last week. It just, I mean, it just grew and grew as the races went on. You know, it was a relatively, you know, calm and you know, meek and mild affair in race 1. But as each race went on, the elbows started to come out. Drivers started to really push, and the entertainment level went through the roof.
Yeah, you know, that's the one thing I think a lot of people didn't expect. You know, you're always going to expect on a standing start, turn 1 to be a bit precarious, I guess would be the word, but it wasn't. All the drivers got through there pretty clean, just got their lines, picked their spots, and man, towards the end, that's when people started battling, and that's it's great to see. Great racing. So we'll see what happens this week. I know there are a couple trouble spots that are going to be on this track. Turn 1, obviously, as you would expect in every race. But also, I believe it's turn 3, turn 4-ish where the jump is. You're going to have people going 3 wide over that, and I've been told that there is a slowdown penalty if you try to cut that corner over that jump. So it's going to be interesting to see. That could cause some problems, but nonetheless, it's going to be a knockdown, drag out sort of battle like we saw last week. You've got 15 laps. You've got to keep it clean every lap, and that's the hard part. Like you were saying, dirt to asphalt and everything in between with the jumps. It's really tough to do for 15 laps in a row.
The drivers just currently out on track during their qualifying period at the moment. They have 2 flying laps to get a time in. Currently, well, what can we say? Cameron Peterson, he is out on top as the Canadian. Such a dominant display we've seen from him. Not just in the 1987 NASCARs in the first 4 rounds of the championship, but again, just took, you know, to the trucks like a duck to water. It's his strongest category, he said, coming into the championship as well. And rips at the time sheets in Sonoma.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Correct me here, Tim, because I may get this wrong. I'm sorry, Cameron, if I underestimate your iRating, but I believe it's somewhere around 8K. So the guy in the trucks in the dirt road is just unstoppable. What was impressive to me is to watch him drive the asphalt ovals as well as he did. So, you know, if he can keep up this run of first places, he's going to have this basically locked down by the end of this series. But you know, it's you gotta keep it clean, and one bad race could, you know, one incident, you got lap cars. There's a lot of things that could happen to him, but you know, he's definitely the favorite coming in here. But you know, every race is a new race.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see he's leading the time sheets by Josh Close, his closest competitor, and he's a full second clear of him. I just had a quick check on Cameron Peterson's iRating. So that's his skill level in iRacing, the sim we use for this series. And I think he's dropped a little bit, because I'm sure a couple of weeks ago he was about 8,200. He's now down to 7,800. But of course, you know, the higher up you are, the bigger the drop is, and the harder the fall, as they say. We see Bobby Ross at the moment. He's currently third. And well, there's no currently. That's qualifying done and dusted. He is third. As we head into our first heat of the evening, Cameron Peterson on pole with Bobby Ross. Alongside, then it's Tyler Coates and DiPiero. McLeod, he is fifth with Erwin, Jake Ham, Tyler Brown, and Jimmy Howard are going to round out your field. This 9-car grid. For what? It's just waiting for a last couple of people to take the grid before we head off racing. We're sure we're going to see people feeling things out. It's going to be interesting to see if there's a bit more of a slower start like we saw last week, or it's just going to be held to the leather and they're going to pick up where they left off last time. I can't wait for it to begin. Just waiting for the last couple of cars to cut to the grid. Tyler Coates and Jimmy Howard, the last ones to grid up, and then we will be making the lights and heading off down to Paddock Hill Bend. Turn 1, the car's just cutting a little in before to take in that gravel section before they come out halfway up Pilgrim's Ride and then run down to Druids. But here come the lights. Let's get ready to go racing in Brands Hatch in the UK. And we are off. And Brown in the background, they're not getting the best of starts, not the best of reactions. Edison, he's going to come up the inside and take the lead. Oh, the 7 there of Kevin Irwin runs in deep. Just getting a big quarter. There's the 85 there, Jake Ham there. Oh, Jake Ham, I think he's in the wall there, isn't he? On the profile.
Yeah, that's going to be a replayable incident for sure, but we still got stuff going on up here. We got Tyler Coates and Bobby Ross still battling it out over the jump, and this is when it gets really sketchy coming into this asphalt section. These trucks like to understeer quite a bit, so it's going to be interesting. Oh, there's one coming in here.
As they come around Brent Hill, Ben down the Coopers straight before we enter into Surtees. This is where they can elect to take their Joker lap. Nobody doing so on the open lap. You see that runs round the inside of Clark Go as we head to replay. Let's take a little look at what happened to Jake Ham. And you see standard trucks, argy-bargy in the midfield, everyone on top of one another, and there's always bound to be a bit of an incident. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, I think there was just not really much any of those guys could have done. You're trying to fit 5 trucks into a 2-wide space, so good on them for all of them able to get out of there the best they could.
Definitely, indeed. See, Cameron Peterson still leading right now. Out in front, Bobby Ross is second, Tyler Coates third. Then we have got Mikolajczyk, he is fourth, Irwin fifth. Howard, DiPiero, Ham and Brown rounding the field, although Howard, I think he's had a bit of an incident somewhere. He's dropped through the field, drops a couple of places there, and there's a really chance now to open up the taps heading down the straightaway. Here to complete another lap and head out onto their second lap. And well, I mean, what can we say about the Canadian? Just an unbelievable performance from him yet again. You know, already after 2 laps, nearly 6 seconds clear of the field.
Yeah, he's just 6 seconds and you know, around lap 6. The guy is just he's quick. He really is, and there's not much anybody can say. Nobody can keep up with him. He just did his world finals in the trucks, and he finished second in that. So the guy knows what he's doing for sure. But you know, he's, like I said, you never know what could happen. Too bad there aren't random failures in iRacing like there would be in the trucks, but I think that's the only way anybody's catching this guy at this point.
I think it is, as he comes around to complete another lap, and once again he goes quicker again. First driver into the 1 minute ones, 1 minute 1.8, some nearly 2.5 seconds quicker than anyone else. Second quickest on the track right now is Bobby Ross with a 1:03. And I'll tell you what, it's getting interesting out on track as we have got Tyler Coates there as they head across the jump. Come down into Graham Hill. Everyone just following each other through. So far, Ross has taken his Joker lap. So has Irwin, Mikolajczyk, Ham and Brown are the drivers. So drivers yet to take it are Pedersen, Tyler Coates, who you can see just there at the moment. Let's just take it. That's DiPiero that I think heading to the inside there to pick up his Joker lap. Where is he going to come out in relation to Coates? He just drops a little bit back there. Of course, able to get a much better run off clock curve, the final curve here at Brands Hatch. Obviously being a bit more open and wider. Not too much longer left here, currently about halfway through the race into race 1 of the evening. And it's a bit of it is a tricky track, this, isn't it? You know, with so many undulations, you know, ups and, you know, downs when the natural geography of the circuits, they come round Pit Druids right now, and then of course, you know, immediately after Druids, you've got that jump there, Adam. I mean, just how tricky is it to, you know, make sure the car is relatively settled and straight so you don't lose too much time over the jump through it going obviously sideways?
Yeah, no, sideways is not good with with these trucks. So keeping it straight, like I was mentioning before we got onto the broadcast, you want to drive these trucks more like you would a road car. You don't want to get them sideways as you would think you would want to in the dirt. Try to keep them as straight as possible, and that goes with the jump as well. If you get a little sideways before the jump, obviously that's going to get you cattywampus after it, but any time you get sideways in these things is not a good thing, especially in the air. If they come down the wrong way, you get caught. You catch a right front, you catch a left front, they will just drag you towards a wall, and that's not what any of these guys need battling. You know, we've got the top 4 going here to the feature, so just one small mistake over that jump could cost you a for sure spot in our feature race.
It's just a whole world of pain potentially, and just having a little look right now as Peterson just rounds the final corner, and that gap out to 10.5 seconds, nearly over Bobby Ross, who's no slouch himself in 2nd place. He's got a nice comfortable gap of around about 6 seconds to Tyler Close now. He's currently in 3rd and the last of the podium places in Heat 1. Just got another heat to come after this before we head out into the Consolation finals, the semi-finals, as it were, and then we've got obviously the final at the end of the proceedings. And just looking at it, Irwin's starting to get into the back of Coates right now. Let's see Pedersen across the jump. Just this is a great advantage as well, with such a gap over the cars in behind you. You can afford to be, you know, maybe a little bit more gentle than you would be in, to make sure, you know, you're picking all your lines up, because you're not under that pressure of knowing that someone's behind you and just one mistake and they can be right on top of you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's what I was saying before. Any small mistake in these things, these are very momentum driven, kind of like the Miatas, believe it or not. So if you look back at the race last weekend, you had Robert Schwenkler up there, looked like he was going to take a solid 2nd place, and just started making a couple mistakes there towards the end, and man, everybody else just closed in on him, and it was a fight between him and Scott Rankin and the next 4 people behind him. It doesn't take very long to lose a 2-second lead in these things. So, but man, just watching some of these guys drive around this track, just so smooth every lap by lap, just no mistakes. Cameron Peterson, watching him take some of his lines is extremely impressive, to be honest.
On to the final lap as we see the battle for 3rd right now between Coates and Irwin. It's not too really many changes of position. Irwin's up a couple of places, likewise Jake Ham, he's up 1 place. Piero is the driver who's lost out, he's down 3. Other than that, everyone is exactly where they started the race, as you see Coates heads down Cooper Straight to the left-hander. There's Surtees for the hook and right around Clark Curve, following of course the Indy layout of the circuit right now. And I tell you what, Irwin's got no answer for Coates, and he knows it as Coates pulls out even further gap. Just come through to take the check flag. Peterson, he's taken the victory in Heat 1. Ross 2nd, Coates, Irwin, Mikolajczyk. Jake Ham just comes across the line in 6th. Di Piero, he's going to come home 7th. We just wait now for... Actually, no, we won't be waiting, sorry, for Brown and Howard, because they have retired on lap 3 and 2, respectively.
Tim, I'd love to give a big shout-out to Kevin Irwin here. The guy has been I just got iRacing before the beginning of our season 2. I'm sorry, not of our season 2, but of XSLR's season 2, and he has improved so much. To watch him get into the feature without having to go through the Consolation race is pretty cool. So congrats to him. And here we go. Next one's up. It was pretty tame for Heat 1.
It was indeed, and you see a grid there. Clog, Sorum, Knight, Darling, Kier, Horan, Barnes, and Schrenkler are your grid as we get ready to go racing in Heat 2. Who's going to come out on top? And wow, look at this.
Goodness.
Big incident.
Brennan is still going. He's fine. He's fine. These trucks will take a whole lot of punishment. Doesn't look like he's got much damage, which is crazy. He may have a concussion, but he's still driving the truck. Still got plenty of time to catch up.
He has indeed, and there was a blinding start from Clock. I was just looking at him, and then I heard you shout and saw the mayhem ensuing in the background there. Of course, like you say, for managing to keep it on, all 4 wheels on the ground. Luckily, where it was rolling over so much, and these trucks will take a beating and a half and carry on like it's another, Sunday afternoon walk in the park after a nice roast dinner. As you see Kerr there coming right into the back of Mike Sorum. They come round Clark Kerr for the first time. The 69 just hugging that inside line. And they'll be desperate not to let Knight get away from them. We've already seen Knight have the sort of pace that he's got in these trucks. Last time out in Sonoma, down into Paddock Hill Bend.
And what these guys have to understand, though, they're battling for the top 4 to make it into the feature race. So the one thing they can't do is start battling each other too hard to allow people like Jaden Darling, Robert Schwenkler, David Barnes, and even Brennan to catch back up, which it looks like they're doing with this battle ensuing in front with Kier and Sorum.
You see that gap it's not just, you can see from the tiny tile on the left-hand side of your screen how it is, the gap is just starting to shrink, but also visibly you can see that Darling is really coming into this fight. And what was, Sorum and Kier just, comfortably having a little bit of a tussle between each other as we ride on board with Darling right now. This really starting to close up as taking a couple of drivers taking their joker lap. Knight, one of them, Sorum the other, being done and dusted out of the way. That's brought Darling right onto the back of Sorum.
So this is a great opportunity for Kier right now. If these guys can battle, Kier's going to be able to get through this joker lap and be able to jump Sorum. But it's going to be tough. Oh my goodness, that is a move by Darling.
Just about as well. I'm not sure how Sorum managed to keep all these wheels on the ground there without flipping. He just about got away with that one. Got lucky as they kind of crossed the jump, but that battling, what that has allowed, you can see Schenkler, he's closed up and he's wanting a piece of the action right now. As you see him a little bit too deep there, just dropping a little bit of momentum as they come back out onto the asphalt along Cooper's Straight. And this could go absolutely any which way right now between these guys. That Sorum has really lost out where he was battling with Kier, and he's now been dragged brought into this battle where Darling and Schenkler are really close by.
Absolutely, no. This is what I was expecting in Heat 1, but it's happening in Heat 2 now. These joker laps are going to be huge now. I don't expect Sorum to really be. He's going to have to do some battling now. With Kier has not yet taken his joker lap. He's actually started to gap Darling, which is good. I can tell you, Mike Sorum is extremely quick in these trucks. He's not Cameron Peterson quick, but he's quick. So we'll see where he can come out, if he can gain a little bit of that back on Kier, but I would expect a battle between 3rd and 4th. But again, you've got Darling and Schwenkler right here just sitting in the clutches. If they can have another battle, all it takes is one corner, like you were saying, Tim, and it's game on.
And worth noting as well, Schenkler, he's already taken his joker lap, the man from Texas, and you see him just coming round there. I expect to see him jump Darling here on the exit of Clark. He's going to carry all the momentum Darling right on the
Jeez.
ragged edge of adhesion there.
Yeah, that was impressive. Congrats to Jaden for not re-entering the track too soon. But yeah, no, you were right. Schwenkler's got the pass. He's got to get to Sorum now. That's that transfer spot right there, right in front of him. So here we go.
It's really interesting to see as well, of course, last week, the Joker lap at Sonoma really gave you, the slingshot and actually proved to be the quicker line compared to, staying on the circuit. Of course, the drivers only get the one Joker lap, as we see Knight and Kier closing right up onto the back of him right now. That gap shrinking. However, obviously, just going back to our original point, the Joker lap here at Brands Hatch, because you have to take that much tighter line through Clark Curb, you have no acceleration, speed coming off the exit of the curb, and it's actually proving to be the opposite to what we saw last week at Sonoma.
It is. I mean, you see that inside, and everyone thinks the Joker lap's going to be quicker, but again, dirt and asphalt. Like you mentioned, adhesion. There's not much of that on the dirt as there would be on the asphalt. So that's definitely helping these guys out as well. But yeah, it could still get a little bit quicker. I would venture to say that maybe going on towards, especially in our feature, when the track starts to wear in a little more than what we've got right now, it's going to create. It may start to even out. I don't know if the Joker lap is going to hurt you as much as it is right now in these heats.
So we just see, our software just got Jaden Darling currently showing us leading. Obviously, he is, and this is where he's missed where he's headed to. He's headed to the pits, according to my. If I'm looking at this right,
Yes,
so that's
he
why
is.
So I'm not too sure what's caused that one. Really a bit of an issue somewhere out on track. I mean, he's pulled it into the pit lane. As we see Clog another new fastest lap in this heat of a 102.5.
Ooh. Here we go. This is going to open this up for Schwenkler. I don't look now, but Schwenkler's still close enough. 2 to go. With these two battling, this is all it's going to take. This is, again, for the transfer spot for Rob Schwenkler. Kier and Sorum are comfortably in a position to get to the feature, but man, I mean, how much, if you were them, Tim, how much would you want to battle knowing that you can make it to the feature without having to get into the consolation?
It is a tricky one. It's a bit of a conundrum, and as much as logic says, don't battle, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. These are racing drivers, and once you get into, locked in that battle, it's a bit, for bragging rights, a bit of the ego, you start to push, and you start to battle, and as the white flag flies there, 1 lap left here in Heat 2 at Brands Hatch, that's where it gets a bit tricky, and, you run the massive risk of another car being brought into your fight, and you can have
here we go. Oh, no. All right, well, like I said, don't look now, but Schwenkler is there. All it took was 1 corner, so now we have a battle for the transfer spot. It just depends on if Schwenkler can keep it clean. If Kier can get back to Sorum, it's looking like Kier wants that spot. He's not happy with 4th place, so we'll see what happens here, but man, this is going to be a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
It is, and only just mentioning about a battle and an incident and bringing someone back into it, and then look at exactly what happens on track. But here comes Clog. He's going to claim victory in Heat 2 to get himself into the next round. Here comes Knight. He's comfortably through as well, a 4.9 second advantage over Sora, and just all looking in the background there. Schwenkler, he's having the right race to the line, and I think he misses out by 15 hundredths of a second at the line, and James Kier just about holds on by the skin of his teeth to that 4th place and that promotion spot into the next round. Wow. Schwenkler's going to feel a bit gutted by that one.
Well, if I'm Schwenkler right now, I'm actually if I'm in his shoes, I'm pretty excited. You know, being able to close that gap down. He wasn't able to do it, but man, he was close. He knows he has the speed. He's going to be in the Consolation, but he knows he's got the speed. He knows he can transfer. Keep your head down, move on to the next one. Don't allow that to hurt you too much. But again, congrats to the top 4. Austin Knight, one of Apex TV's own. Congrats to him for a very solid second place. Sorum and Kier, and obviously Clog, man, he just ran away with it. Hopefully we can see a battle between 1 and 2 here in the main. Go get him. Go get him, Clog. We need somebody to take the fight to Peterson.
Do indeed. As Knight just getting up on the wall there.
That's one way to celebrate.
It is indeed. A quick mention for one of the sponsors of this league, Dangerous. They're a top 3D virtualization firm specializing in high-quality 3D product CAD package rendering services and photorealistic product visuals. They specialize in automotive subjects and have extensive industrial and consumer product design experience. Let them help you visualize, promote, and communicate your design. Head to dangerous.net. That's dangerous.net.
All right, I'm going to try to get through this round. I'm going to try to get through this real quick. In first place, we got Paul Mikolajczyk. Second, Brendan Horan, followed by Jake Ham, James Kier, Jerry DiPiero, David Barnes, Tyler Brown, Jaden Darling, and Jimmy Howitt. So, should be going green right now. I'm going to head it back off to you here, Tim.
Wow, look at Mikolajczyk. A great start from him. They're going to go 3 wide in that battle for second place as the field bunch up. There's lots of bargy in the background there. As I think that was Mikolajczyk himself just losing out a bit there. Jake Ham, he's out in first place. It looks like everyone's made it through somehow. The first corner bunching up without any major incidents. You see the 88 there, James Kirk getting right into the back of the 177 of Di Piero as Jake Ham heads down through Graham Hill bend for the first time. And look at Horan, he's right onto the back of him right now, but not as close as these two are. As Howard and Di Piero just loses out. He's lost 2 places there. James Kerr's made his way past Jimmy Howard in that 37 truck as well.
Yeah, and I do want to apologize here. I expected Kier to be up there to be able to transfer into the main. He's not able to do it, so iRacing changed the amount of entries into the main due to the amount of cars on track or the amount of entries into the race. So right now it's showing that the top 7 are going to be moving on into the feature.
Yes, at the moment, Barnes and Darling are currently the 2 drivers in the danger zone. Will be dropping out at the end of this round as we ride on board with Brendan Horan to head across the jump. Looking a little bit better compared to Ham there. They come down into the brakes, into Graham Hill bend. Use the downhill section to really slingshot you off the corner, but look, Mikolajczyk is right in the background there, ready to strike, ready to pounce, and Ham just bails out there. Horan, bails out there, takes this Joker lap.
This may be a smart move by Brennan to get out of battle with these two, maybe let them battle a little bit. He could take a 2-for-1 here whenever they have to go in for their Joker. Brendan's now in a little bit of clean air, but we all know how quickly that can close.
See Kerr here right now. He's in 4th place in a little bit of a buffer zone where he's got, no one close behind him, no one in front of him. A little bit of a bubble, but he's looking to close up on this battle for lead between Ham, Mikolajczyk, and then Horan. Right now, confirmation Horan. He has taken his Joker lap.
I don't think he's content with just riding behind these guys until they take theirs. He wants this second place with Mikolajczyk. So I would expect him to probably make a move. I think turn 1's going to be the best, and here comes a Joker.
Really drifting the car round Clark curve. Where is Ham going to come out in amongst these guys? He's gonna try and cover off that inside line just to break any progress from Horan. They're gonna come side by side on the run down to the paddock hill. Who's gonna be last of the lane breakers?
Oh my goodness!
He's got it!
He's got it!
threads the eye of a needle. What a stunning move there for Brandon Horan. I take a bow, sir. There's Ham versus Mikolajczyk. Now into Druids, and they all back doors, and look who's coming through, James Kerr. He sneaks it up the inside in that 88 as they head across the jump, and everyone else swaying around, and Kerr is nice and stable there, and now he's right into the back
There's a
of
chrome
Horan.
horn move. Oh, no. All right, well, Kier is on a mission here, up into, at the moment, 3rd place. Bit of a chrome horn. I guess you can do that in these trucks, but, man, that was bad luck for Jake Ham. Get crossed up by Brennan, and then you get 2 guys coming in. You're on the outside of one of these corners, and you're at the mercy of the trucks to the inside, just with, you know, these trucks lend themselves to the amount of bumping, but never mind, he's back up into 2nd place all of a sudden, so he's still got a chance here.
Definitely has indeed. The only driver, is the only driver that yet to take his Joker lap out of these battling group as he sends it around there, really trying to make some progress over that number 85 of Ham. This has got everyone's bumper to bumper in this section. It's the closest we've ever seen of all the heats. And this could go absolutely anyway, and definitely a bit of elbows out is going to be required to make some progress, surely, here, Adam.
It is. I mean, I would expect, like I mentioned before, we've got a couple more laps, a few more drivers in this than we did in the heat races. So I wonder if that Joker lap, if that line has started to, I'm going to say, slick off, which is actually stickier when it comes to these trucks. To be able to get through that may lend a little bit of a hand to some of these guys that haven't taken the Joker lap yet, to allow them to carry a little more speed through there.
He will do, indeed. And just to keep you up to date, so Brown, he's retired. He has got back going again. Apologies about that. Himself and Barnes are in the danger zone and will be dropping out. As things stand at the moment, we've still got 7 laps to go. Anything can happen, and as we know in trucks, anything will happen as well, as we see this battle here right now. But over 2nd place. And what it really has allowed, you can see him just in the distance there, Brendan Huron. He's absolutely checked out. Oh, Kerrins. Oh, and again. Oh, has he flipped it? Is he going to get back on his wheels? Yeah. Oh! He saved it and then flipped it over again. And what this has meant, he's dropped all the way down to 7th place. And what can Barnes do? He's going to see this on his relative, and this is surely going to give him the hurry up to try and chase down Kerr and potentially get himself through to the next round.
Well, keep in mind, what happened to Barnes? Where did he go? But keep in mind that Kier still has to he's got to still take that Joker lap. He hasn't done it yet. So if Barnes is still somewhere close, he's still got a serious chance.
See DiPiero right now. Mikolajczyk, he is right behind him. He's 7/10 of a second, separating these two as they come up Pilgrim's Rise through the right-hand hairpin that is Druids, and then across the jump on the run down to Graham Hill Bend. Right now, everyone's, let's say, calm down. They've spaced out a little bit.
I would keep an eye here on Jimmy Howitt. This guy knows how to drive these trucks, and it seems like he's starting to make a little bit of some progress here on Jake Ham with 6 to go. I would also mention that a lot of these guys are better on fresh tracks compared to worn tracks. I know I keep saying that, but you know, in the asphalt, it makes a difference with rubber laid down and stuff like that. But let me tell you what, when the dirt starts to wear off of some of these tracks, it drastically affects the handling characteristics of these trucks. So what we're seeing now, and I think that's probably what lent to the close racing towards the end of last weekend, these trucks start to wear, or the trucks start to wear the track down, and people tend to get better that weren't as good on fresh tracks.
Definitely indeed, Brendan Huron. He has got a 2.6 second lead out in front of the Ham right now. Worth mentioning, drivers yet to take. Oh, don't care. He's dropped out of the. I think something's happened to him potentially. Is he headed to the pits? He has.
He is.
He's had an instance somewhere out on track. I was about to say that Barnes to come right in to, close that gap up, as Kurt, who had previously yet to take his choke lap, he had just done, which is why allowed Barnes to come right into the back of him. Also, worth mentioning, DiPiero and Darling yet to take their laps, their Joker laps yet either. So that Mikulajczyk just takes his, so that just leaves Darling yet to take it. And I tell you what, David Barnes, he's going to come round and still in the pit lane right now. So Barnes is going to get himself up into 7th place. And not that long ago, Kerr was fighting for 2nd place, let's not forget.
Well, like you mentioned, you make one wrong move in these trucks, and no matter how resilient they are, they're not very good if you're trying to drive them with all 4 tires pointing towards the sky. So that's all it takes is a little bit of a bump. These things try to climb the walls, and they're not monster trucks. They will go over. So seriously unfortunate for Keir to kind of see his race go out the window, but got 4 to go. Don't know when he's going to come out, if he's going to be able to come out, but maybe, just maybe, all you got to do is hope for a mistake like Keir made for somebody else, and he can be back into it.
He can do indeed, as you said. All it takes is one mistake, and if you end up flipping the truck and it's stuck on its roof, that means you've then got to tow it to the pits, and you're going to lose over a lap just for that to happen, let alone if there's any major damage to your truck. As we just see Mikulajczyk here, right, closing into the back of DiPiero. And his attempts separating these two there across the jump.
I do want to give a big shout out as well, now that we're looking at him. Jerry DiPiero, an admin for XSLR, been pretty down in the dumps. This is not his best series. These nor the ovals. He's definitely a road guy, but to see him up here in 4th place, battling with Paul Mikulajczyk, who's, as we know, extremely quick, is pretty cool to see. And yeah, thanks, Jerry, for everything you do.
Yes, indeed. As we see right now, Brennan Horan, I tell you what, that gap, he's lost a whole chunk of time there. Jake Ham's closed right into the back of him. I just had a little look at their last lap times, and last time around, Jake Ham was 1.2 seconds quicker than our leader right now. You see it up on screen right now. The differences between the lap times, obviously, where they're green at the bottom, that means Ham was quicker.
I want you to see the way that watch the difference between Horn's lines and Ham's line. Watch the way Horn goes in there, tries to get the truck sideways, and he's out of the grip strip, as I call it. And here comes the pass, and Jake is just taking it like a road car, trying to stay within, trying to keep it as straight as possible. That's how he's getting all of this time. As this track starts to wear out, you just got to stay in that, I call it the asphalt section. It's just a super dark section of the dirt, and there is so much grip to be had down there. And he has just absolutely clawed his way, like 3 seconds in the last 2 laps. He's past Horn now, and he is, I would assume, pretty much gone.
Wow, having said that, look, Jimmy Howard, he had the fastest lap of the race so far last time around, and then, went, fastest man on track yet again as well. He's already up 6 places, and not content with it. We're on to the final lap here. And what can he do? Can he get in? Oh, he's going to get the move done there.
For now.
And Horace not
Brennan, let him have it.
Oh
my goodness.
He's into the wall, and that's going to give Jimmy Howard the 2nd place. Up 7 places this guy has climbed. Started back at the back of the field, and it's going to come home in a comfortable 2nd now. James Kerr, he's got the car up, truck up and running again, and set a new fastest lap of the race right at the death. But our victor here in this semi-final, it's been Jake Ham. A great drive from him. Jimmy Howard 2nd. Runt is going to come home in 3rd with a handbrake turn there. Everyone joining him in there. Mikulajczyk joins in the 3rd. Likewise, there's Darling as well there. We're going to have Barnes, Keir, and then Brown, who obviously retired his truck back on the lap 5.
Huge move by Jake Ham. Just the amount of speed he had those last few laps, as well as Howitt. I think Brennan, the track wear kind of caught him off a little more. or caught him out than the other guys. But again, the same thing's going to happen. So I would watch for the last 5-6 laps to get extremely intense.
Let's just run you through your grid. So Pedersen and Clog on the front row with Ross, and then Knight, Coates, Sorum, Erwin, Schrenkler, Ham, Howard, Horan, Di Piero, and then Mikolajczyk, Darling, and Barnes rounding out your grid. Quick mention of another of our sponsors, Nexus Fab. Nexus Fabrication specializes in metal fabrication and manufacturing for commercial, residential, and custom projects, as well as signage, furniture, and metal repair work. You can visit them at nexusfab.com. We get ready for the lights. Everyone just taking to the grid, just waiting on Jimmy Howard now.
Tim, that is a lot of trucks. That is a lot of trucks lined up across that asphalt. Holy cow.
It's a sight of a hold, and what is going to happen down at turn 1, Paddock Hill Bend? Here come the lights. Let's find out who's going to take the victory here in Brown's Hatch. Oh, and already the 81 is off and they're onto their roof. They're rolling in the background, but out in front, Cameron Pedersen takes the lead. As there's a big incident, and they've formed a car park. There's trucks all on top of one another on the entry to turn 1. And Erwin and Horan. Brendan Horan, one of the big losers there, I think, from that, as he's down to the back of the field, but out in front. Darling, Darling, he's taken to the pit, so Pedersen just, wow, got to the front. Can he hold on to it? The form book says yes.
I would like to mention as well that Pedersen somehow finds a way to stay out of all of these incidents. The guy has crazy good race awareness as well. There are just so many things. Yes, he's fast. He's fast in qualifying, but he's also fast in race pace. Stays out of incidents. Missed all the first turn incidents. So it's really impressive to see.
Oh, that is into the wall. And that was David Barnes there. Pushed, just got into contact and crimson into the wall. He nearly ended up flipping the truck.
So we got buddies here battling. We got Jimmy Howlett and Tyler Coates, super close friends. So we'll see if elbows come out here. Obviously trying to get as many points. This is the points race here. So I would expect friendships go out the window, as I would hope go out the window when you're trying to race for points and race for the prizes at the end of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see all of these guys. You got Horan, Ham, and Howlett, and look at that, you got Austin Knight up there and leading this pack.
We have indeed. We've not really mentioned him. I think he's definitely one of the benefiters from that incident down at turn 1. As we just see the 38 there heading to take their Joker lap of Mikolajczyk. Is he going to come out and race? He's going to fall behind these two trucks in front of him of Schrenkler and Erwin, who are yet to take their laps. As Ham and Sorum have also they've taken their Joker laps. Brendan Horan, despite falling right to the back of the field at turn 1, he's scoring his way back through the field. He's back up to 12. So we look back from Sorum. That's Schrenkler behind him. Then is Erwin. You can see him in that truck just looking through, trying to find a way past. And at the back of this train is Mikolajczyk.
I don't know if you're at the back of this train. I don't really know what you can do to be able to make some moves quickly. You just got to kind of ride it out, let people battle in front of you, because you don't want to be the one that gets into a battle, because you'll lose the back of this pack. So yeah, this is a really tough situation for these guys to be in.
Well, Horan, he's managed to close right up onto the back of these guys as well. As we see Erwin there taking his Joker lap. I tell you what, Brendan Horan, he's in a really strong position here. He's already taken his Joker lap, and we know the pace that he's already got this evening.
I see a move coming here.
Can he get the move done into turn 1 and decides against it for now? Or he looks something inside. He's looking, he's probing. He's just short of prodding and poking, but that'll definitely come in the latter stages. We've still got 12 to go here in the final of round 6. of the XSLR Championship. And what can Knight do? It feels like he's becoming a little bit of a roadblock right now, but the advantage that he does have is he's already taken his Joker lap. Coates and Howitt behind him haven't. So in real world terms, he's actually got himself, you know, a nice bit of a buffer potentially, providing that the two behind him don't start battling him, and that'll prevent Jake Ham from really closing the gap. You can see him just in the background there. It's Pedersen. Wow, another faultless performance from him yet again.
He's pulling out about a second a lap. It's just, my goodness, it's insane to watch. No words, to be honest. The guy is he's good. He's the best.
So, Nikolajczyk there, he tried to make a move on Erwin. However, that's allowed Horan just to close up the gap by a few more attempts where they're both taking those compromised lines into turn one as they head round Druids and head down the hill, cross the jump into Graham Hill bend once more. You get a feeling between these guys, this could well all end in tears potentially for one of them, or maybe both of them.
Let's take a flashback real quick to last weekend, and you had the race at Sonoma, and it was pretty good until the last few laps, and then, like you said, for Scott Rankin, unfortunately, it ended in tears. He was about 200 feet from the finish line on his roof.
You can see Austin. He's in a bit of a wow. You can see that Jimmy Howitt is closed right up onto the back of Knight. Now Howard still yet to take his Joker lap. Oh no, Howard runs it in too deep. And now Tyler Coates is all onto the back of him. And Howard has gone from being the aggressor to the point being harassed and chased. As we ride on board with Coates, and he's closed right. You can see just how much he's closed up into the back of Howard. I nearly got stuck into him a little bit at Graham Hill Bend, you know, where they were so close to one another.
Absolutely. If you want to ride on this in-car for a minute, you can see the understeer that I'm talking about through this asphalt. These guys are just wheeling this thing around as hard as they can to get it back into the dirt. It's such a finite amount of grip compared to no grip in these trucks with the amount of weight these things are carrying around. But Tyler seems to be dropping off a little bit. How it's going to try to mount another charge here on Knight.
The Nikolajczyk there, he's got Brennan Huron sets up right behind him. There goes a look back from Nikolajczyk. That you can see Huron trying to find alternative lines, cutting, trying to find the overcut, trying to find the overcut, getting creative right now. But I tell you what, Paul the Polish Plough is just in the foreground there. Schrenkler and Erwin, they're into one another.
This is some Supercross stuff I'm seeing right now. This is that's one way to make a pass there, Rob. But yeah, good pass, made it stick.
Well, and also where they all got stuck into one another, you can see behind him that Nikolajczyk and Horan are now right in amongst these two guys. Schenkler, he's checked out a little bit from this group. However, Erwin right now is in a bit of trouble as we see Ham here going to try and go around the outside there. Just try to get some move done.
Kidding me? Good move. Maybe one of the better moves I've seen of the night. Great pass. It's so hard to get around the outside of these trucks, so that was awesome.
It was absolutely a great move, wasn't it? You know, round the outside into turn one, and it was clean. That was truly one of those hold my beer, watch this type of moments.
Absolutely. My goodness, these guys are throwing it in here.
They are. They're really, throwing absolutely at it. You know, even the kitchen sink at times and getting stuck into one another. Erwin just able to pull a little bit of a gap over Nikolajczyk there, as we see Schenkler. He's taking his Joker, and what that's going to mean here, Adam, he's going to be surely brought right into the middle of this fight, the last place he wants to be.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned it, right into the middle of it, and you've got Nikolajczyk with a run. Is he going to try to do the same thing Ham did? We'll see. Rob tends to get a little more aggressive.
Oh, he's into the side of Irwin. He's actually gone from hand to defend, and he's picked up a place. Irwin caught completely and utterly napping there into turn 1. And now Mikolajczyk wanting a bit of the action as Irwin runs it in deep there. Mikolajczyk, you bet your bottom dollar, he's going to be trying sneaking up the inside. Can't quite get the move done to head across the jump. And Horan, surprisingly, is actually dropping off these guys a little bit right now.
Don't look now, but Cameron Peterson with about half the race is starting to lap drivers already. 6 seconds ahead of Clog. Just, okay. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Cam Peterson. But yeah, here comes Clog up here in second place. About 4 seconds from him to Ross. And, you know, Austin Knight really has to get a move on it to make anything happen. 7 seconds and 6 laps, I don't think is possible. Just basically hoping for a bit of a mistake by Bobby at this point.
Worth mentioning, Cameron Peterson, he hasn't taken his Joker lap. Now he's going to lose probably about half a second to a second from that. Not enough to bring him back into Clog. And Clog, incidentally, actually set the fastest lap of the race last time around and was marginally quicker than our leader. Bobby Ross is doing his best to try and keep up with these guys, but is slowly falling back. He's just a couple of tenths slower per lap. There's Mikolajczyk, he's into the wall, and he's gone from battling with Irwin, where he's pushing the truck so hard, trying to find a way past him. That means that he's now locked back into a scrap with Brendan Horan. Well, until Brendan just locked it up there and got it all out of shape on corner entry and prevented from Mikolajczyk from, well, being able to get past Mikolajczyk even.
Yeah, looks like we got a bit of a break here in the action, so I'm going to try to throw in another sponsor here. Like to say thank you to Chet Duranic, who's not racing with us tonight, from Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, a non-profit, volunteer-fueled organization dedicated to finding cures for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis and improving the quality of life of children and adults affected by these diseases. If you want to know anything else, you want to find more information, you can visit them at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. Make sure to give them a little bit of, if you do visit that site, make sure to give them a little bit of a thank you, because they're, again, totally non-profit fueled. Great organization to be a part of, and good to see what those guys are doing. And thank you, Crohn's and Colitis.
Echo those thoughts entirely as, well, here comes Mikolajczyk looking to make a move around the outside of Irwin into turn 1. We've already seen this move work. Mikolajczyk trying to be the last of the late breakers.
He's going to do it again!
Wow, another great move. Adam, you were saying, these trucks you can't overtake around the outside as Mikolajczyk gets up onto 2 wheels there as they come back out onto Pilgrim's Rise. But, you know, you were saying, only a few laps ago, no, you can't get around the outside in these trucks. You know, it's so hard to do. It's impossible. That's the 3rd time we've seen people make the move around the outside into turn 1.
I believe this is the 2nd time Paul's done it too. He must be listening to the stream and doing everything he can to prove me wrong. So, Paul, you know what? I'm just going to quit talking because I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. You are the outside moves around the outside. I wasn't able to make them work, so congratulations, man. You can do something I can't.
Well, exactly, and then that's what they say, you know, those that can do it, do it, those that can't talk about it, and that's why you have to listen to ourselves in the commentary booth, because we definitely, well, I know for certain, I definitely can't make the trucks do anything close to what these guys can. See Josh Clog, another new fastest lap of the race, only marginally though, 1/100th of a second quicker than what Cameron Pedersen managed last time. Well, I'll say that. Forget that. Cameron Pedersen just goes 4 tenths quicker, and yeah, the first person into the 59s, sub 1 minute time.
That is extremely fast. Sub 1 minute time is really tough to do around here. We were watching people run 101s, 102s, so sub 1 minute is definitely huge. But while we're on Josh Clog, huge shout out to him for what he's done for the league. He's helped a lot of people, in the league get faster in these trucks. Really doesn't have any ego, I would say. He does what he can to help the guys out in the league, and really, really awesome to have him to be part of this. So thanks, Josh, for everything you do. Too bad you can't catch Cam.
I know since those early stages, that's where Cameron Pedersen was able to get the jump on clock. Since then, that gap has maintained. Now, Cameron Pedersen, interesting, we're on to the final lap here. According to my software, he hasn't taken his Joker lap, clearly saving it for the very last lap. You see him come around Druids.
I believe he did that in Sonoma as well. I think he's just probably watching everything unfold behind him, making sure he's going to be safe in front of him, get around some of these lappers and try to keep it in clean air as much as possible. You don't want to get into the Joker lap too early, I would think, to get yourself into a position where it could wreck your race or ruin your race. So, when you've got the speed to be able to pull out a 6-second gap, you can do exactly what he's doing right now and afford to lose about 0.5 of a second.
Definitely, indeed. Rounds. Well, we're still in the final goal. It's on the inside instead of the Joker lap, but your victor here in round 6 of the XSLR Championship. It's Cameron Pedersen, the Canadian, takes the checkered flag. Josh Clark comes home in 2nd place. And Bobby Ross is going to round out your podium here in the UK. What is happening behind them? Well, I haven't saw them. They're about a second apart. Schenkler is coming along as well. I'm looking comfortable for the moment. I think this is all going to remain as they are. As things stand at the moment. As they round Clark Clev for the final time. Sprint down to the start-finish line. You can see just how much the truck's understeer. You was thinking about that much, where they understeer out the final corner horrifically. Grips reducing, so that effect's becoming even stronger right now. As the last few drivers come across the start-finish line.
Yeah, it was not as intense as I thought it was going to be there towards the end. I think everybody got all of their bumps and, bumps and grinds. I apologize if I can't say that, out early. But yeah, great job, guys, for keeping it clean and awesome race to watch.
It was indeed, and let's bring you up your classify results here. Round 6 of the XSLR Championship. It's Cameron Pedersen. He's taken the victory. Josh Clark in 2nd place. Bobby Ross rounding out your podium. And then we're down into Austin Knight. A great drive from him. That's a bit like a human roadblock early on, but managed to get away from the clutches of Jimmy Howard, who definitely the aggressor in the situation. Jake Ham, he's come home in 6th with Mike Sorum 7th. Schenkler 8th. Erwin, he was 9th. Brendan Horan, a great recovery drive from him. He fell to the back of the grid on the 1st lap. But to get the truck back up in 7th, it's a great drive from him. Mikolajczyk is 11th. Barnes 12th. DiPiero 13th. Coates 14th. And Jaden Darling rounding out your field here in the feature race and the final of the evening.
Before we go here, I want to give a huge shout out to Jimmy Howitt, biggest mover, gained 5 positions there in the feature, so congrats to Jimmy as well.
Definitely, he had an absolute cracking drive, didn't he? Let's be honest. He did. Let's I'll tell you what. Let's have a little bit of a chat, Adam, with Bobby Ross. I just managed to grab him, and we'll bring him across into the commentary booth. Here he is for you, Adam. It's Bobby Ross.
Bobby, congratulations, my man. Looked like a pretty boring race out there in the feature. Didn't really have much in front of you, unfortunately. Nobody behind you, though, either. So kind of walk me through the feature. Walk me through that start as well. How'd you get through all that clean?
I guess it's just a little bit of a prayer before you go into that turn, because it's a gamble. But you got to take your time. Don't push yourself, because there were so many times during the practice races that I would push it too hard, even though I was up front when I didn't have to, and I would end up hitting the wall and get taken out. So I played the easy game, take it slow but steady, and you know what? Ended up paying off. My first podium of the year. I'm so happy right now.
Absolutely, man. Huge congratulations to you for that. What do you expect going into these next 2 dirt road races? You feeling a little bit more confident? You think you have the speed, or you think this was just a fluke?
No. Because I put a lot of effort tonight compared to Sonoma, and it paid off, especially last week when I finished dead last because of all the incidents that were going on. But no, I think it's just you just got to practice, and I'm just gonna definitely put a lot of effort for these next 2 races, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, man. Well, you've got a totally different track coming up here in Brands Hatch. A lot more asphalt, very tight corners compared to what you were dealing with at, or not. I'm sorry, not Brands Hatch, but Hell, compared to what you were dealing with tonight at Brands Hatch. So, have you done any practice there yet?
Not yet, but definitely this week I certainly will be.
All right, man. Well, good luck, and thank you. Thanks for chatting with us, and congrats on your 3rd place.
Thank you, and good job on your interview, or first time doing commentary, man. Looking forward to hearing it afterwards. And thanks to everyone that was watching. You all have a good night.
Yeah, 1 second, Bobby. Anybody else you want to shout out here before we let you go?
Oh, yeah. My mom, my brother, Jody, John, Christine, Elliot, JP, and everyone that was watching tonight. You guys are all amazing. Peace.
All right, thanks, Bobby.
You're welcome.
Next up, let's have a little bit of a chat with our fellow co-commentator here at Apex Racing TV, and also came home 4th here today in the UK. It's Austin Knight. Austin, early on, it seemed like you said about it in commentary, like you were the human roadblock. Everyone was queuing up to have a go and try and get their way past you in the first half, definitely in the first half of the race.
Yeah, the world did not want me to win, not win, I did to get my best finish today. When I first launched to the session, my throttle was only detecting 25% of its input, and I was like, oh no, I literally going to be a roadblock. I got that fixed, got through the heat for once, got to the final. Around lap 4 or 5 or 6, whenever I became the robot, my wheel fell off my desk, and I had to drive the entire rest of the race by pushing my wheel against my desk to keep it up there.
Awesome. That sounds like a whole bunch of excuses if you're asking me.
I will send you a photo. My wheel is pointed at a 45-degree angle away from me.
Okay, whatever you say, buddy.
It's off my... Anyway, I finished 4th, which I had no idea that I could do today.
Yeah, no, huge congrats, man. You had a bunch going on behind you and in front of you, so...
oh, man, everything was going on today, and it's Brands Hatch. It's a weird track, and, I like weird things. This track is fun.
Well, you better get ready for Lonkenbonded then. If you thought this one was bad, get ready for next weekend.
Oh, I love Hell. Hell's good. I have a ticket to Hell already stamped and ready to go, so, Hell's gonna be fun. The track's cool, too.
Exactly. Who doesn't love, a bit of Scandinavian action? And, well, how are you feeling about, your chances then? You sound like you're feeling quite confident about the next round in the championship.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty all right. Bobby was probably my closest competitor today. With Daytona 24 going on, I didn't really put in a lot of practice, but the one I did, I had a lot of fun in. Cue video of me doing a wheelie down the straight. But yeah, looking forward to Hell next week, and looking forward to all the other stuff on Apex Racing League that launches this week too. But yeah, before I head out, thanks to everybody at Leadpaw Racing for supporting me. We just finished our first 24-hour. Sponsors Artesian Builds, Aporia Customs, our hoodie provider, and everybody here at Apex Racing TV. And Adam, hope you get well, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. 6 to 8 weeks, but thanks for the good words.
Anytime. I'll let you guys talk to Cam.
Thank you. There's Austin Knight, not only 4th in the race, but also reading our minds here. Before we have a quick word with our winner here today, Cameron Pedersen, just a mention to another sponsor for this series, Shears Salon, located in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Trust your peers and come to Shears. You can find them on Facebook at the Shears Salon for more information. And here we are now joined in the commentary booth by our winner here today, and what looked like a relatively comfortable victory, Cameron. Was it from your perspective?
Luckily, I was able to get ahead of Josh. He had a really good start. I knew he was going to have a good start because I watched him in the heat, and he was able to, launch really hard with that wheel spin. So I knew that was going to be the first challenge. I kind of leaned on him on entry and was able to get him behind me. So after that, it was just focus on my lines, figure out the pace of the track as quickly as possible, and then go from there. Once I got about a 5-second lead, I just started to kind of held back a little bit, not took chances. I didn't want to hit the inside of a corner, flip off the ramp or something like that, push it too hard and make a mistake and lose the race. So yeah, just after that, held it steady and tried to learn the truck on these types of tracks a little bit more.
So has it been, obviously we know that the trucks are your speciality if we look across the whole season. Was this a track that you've had to learn more so for, and you find more challenging compared to the others?
Yeah, this will be one for sure. I've raced the pro trucks at Sonoma before, so I have an idea of how it breaks down and how much grip you get. At Brands Hatch, I don't have many laps. 0, in fact, in these pro trucks. I run a couple laps in the rally cars, but that's it. Not much experience for me here. Going into Hell next week is going to be, I think, a struggle for everybody. That's a super tight track, very unforgiving. There's going to be lots of bumping and banging.
So you're basically saying Hell by name, Hell by nature then, really?
Oh, absolutely.
No problem. Before we let you go, Cam, anyone you want to give a shout out to at all?
Absolutely, all of the admins on the XSLR Racing League, Adam, everybody, Robert. These guys put on an awesome league. It's very well directed. One of the better ones I've been a part of for sure. To you guys, Apex Racing TV, put on the broadcast. Always looking forward to watching it back. The guys on the Jim Beaver Esports crew, General Tire, Fistful of Bourbon, Winners Get Whiskey, Vision Wheel, Next Level Racing, and ES2 Motorsport, and all my friends and family watching at home. I've seen my mother and my uncle comment on the YouTube, so shout out to them.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to your mom too, as well, Cam. She seems to be the first one every time we get a broadcast going. She seems to be the first
Absolutely.
one to respond. So, yeah, I think your mom may be your biggest supporter, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, nothing wrong at all.
Cameron Pedersen, your victor here today in round 6 of the XSLR Championship. So, wow, what a great evening of racing once more here in the UK, and it's definitely been an interesting one, hasn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it has. Not as interesting as I thought it was going to be honest, Tim, but, the first two, I had my predictions, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to put that commentator's curse on him, but congratulations to Cam and Josh. Josh, unfortunately, won't be able to make it for an interview, but those two guys definitely cream of the crop here in our dirt road series. But also Bobby, a bit of a surprise for third place, so we'll see if he can carry that on into hell.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I apologize, but that's the name of the track, guys, I promise. But in all aspects of the race, it was great. Some great overtaking on the outside, like I said, couldn't be done, and I got proved wrong, and bumping, but nothing ever got too out of hand. So all in all, I think it was a great race.
Yeah, it was indeed, and coming up on the channel, talking of great action and great racing. Tomorrow at 1 a.m. and GMT, we've got the Rick Protect Classic Sprint Series. This rounds 2 and 3 from them from Mount Panorama, which is always a track that delivers on action, spiciness, and drama. So well worth having a bit of a tune in for that one. And then coming up on Wednesday evening. Be myself returning to the commentary booth. Sorry, it's Thursday evening, isn't it? Of course, it's the Stigmatex TCR Championship Winter Series. They are at Knock Hill. Then we've got the GC Pro Am Trophy there at 8 o'clock on Tuesday. They are heading to Belle Isle. So there's quite a few street circuits about the moment, and Belle Isle is tough and tight, and one mistake from someone a bit further up can definitely make or break your race further behind. It's Ray Esports. They are coming up in 2 days' time. It's 1 a.m. GMT, and then, of course, yeah, Wednesday night is Porsche Cup with myself, as we are heading to Red Bull Ring for that one for round 3. Big mention to, obviously, one of our sponsors at Viper Esports. Viper Esports is a sports and entertainment organization based out of Greenville, North Carolina, focusing on providing professional athletes and content creators from around the world to compete at the highest level possible. The Vipers are a family of competitors, supporters, fans, grinders that share a mutual passion and drive for esports. To join them or find out more about who they are, you can head across to their website, vipersesports.org. And wow, I think that's just leads us to say what's been an absolutely another cracking night of racing here in the XSLR series in round 6. We'll see you in a week's time as we head to Scandinavia, to the absolutely notorious hell. For myself, Adam and Jonathan, is thanks very much and good night.
And setting up here.